Forbes Travel Guide just released the most anticipated hotel openings for 2023. What goes into picking these spots?
You know, there are so many coming up, Brittany. I think the pipeline for new openings has been the biggest we've seen since, the post-pandemic time period. So this is really exciting. The list, we try obviously to make sure that we have a really good global selection, and that's never hard to do because there's things opening all over the place. And the great thing about the list that we put out is that not only are we covering some of the cities, which saw, I think, some of the biggest negative effects of the pandemic, but there's some really great destinations that you might not think about that are receiving new openings. So it's really exciting, and it's a really diverse list this year.
Let's get right into it. What are some of those destinations that you might not be thinking about?
Well, I think the big trend that we're watching and the one thing that we're seeing is the experiential destinations. So you're going to see some properties on there. There is a JW that's opening in the Masai Mara. So if safari is your thing, or being close to that experience is something on your bucket list, then that would be a great option for you. And then you're also going to see some wellness destinations on there in Portugal, and so maybe some destinations, especially for those of us that have been stuck a bit behind the travel schedule with the pandemic, far-flung destinations that were a bit more difficult to get to, like in Melbourne. So they're seeing some new openings as well.
Are you seeing more people as the pandemic is sort of coming to an end here, people going outside of the US and going abroad?
Definitely. And you can tell that not only in the demand from what we see the hotels talking about. I've been talking to so many hotels lately, obviously on the eve of our announcement, and they are full, they are busy, they are oversold. So it's really great. And we are seeing that pick up, and I don't see it softening. We don't see that tailing off at any point soon.
And what about the US? What are some of the destinations that are featured on the list in the United States?
Actually, some of the exciting destinations are what I would call reopenings and some grand dames coming back to life. So the Ritz-Carlton Naples, which has been closed for a couple of years, it's finally reopening. So we're really excited for that to be reopening in 2023. It's a big resort down, obviously, in Florida. And then Hawaii as well, which also saw some particularly hard times receiving tourism during the pandemic. There's a new Rosewood. Rosewood has quite a few openings globally, but the one that we're also watching, and it's on our list, is the one in Kona Village.
Out of the entire list, what would you say is the most unique spot?
The most unique spot? Gosh, well, I think there's a couple of really notable hotels, and one that has definitely caught our attention lately is the new property in Dubai, the newest property, which is the Royal at the Atlantis. Not that Dubai necessarily is a unique destination because it's filled with amazing hotels, but that hotel is truly something special. We were fortunate to be there at the opening, and I think when people finally get there, it's going to be amazing.
And what made it so special?
I think they have such a unique setup of obviously everything from the design and the futuristic concept, which is obviously just really very cool, but then also the service. The service is something at Forbes Travel Guide that is especially important to us. And here's a hotel that's newly opened with obviously an amazing leadership team and a really wonderful staff. But really from day one, you can see that property is really pulling out all the stops and doing a great job all around.
These destinations sound truly incredible, everywhere from Dubai, Hawaii, everywhere in between. What's the most affordable place that someone maybe on more of a budget can look to?
I think Las Vegas always continues currently to offer great competitive rates, but not delivering on a budget experience. So you can get to Las Vegas on a budget, but have a truly amazing experience. And I know people's perception of Las Vegas as a travel destination has maybe a more condensed view of why you would travel, but the destination has such broad offerings. And even though Resorts World is the newest property that's opened in recent years during the pandemic, one we're watching that's on our list is the Fontainebleau. So we are really excited for that opening and to see that coming to fruition in 23.
Will that one look like the one in Miami?
I think on the outside it will, because it's a particular brand style, and we're excited to see it. But I have not personally seen any renderings yet, so we're looking forward to seeing what that will look like when that comes to its opening day.
I'm excited to see it as well. So, on the flip side of most affordable, what's the grandest experience, the most flashy? Let's say you have no budget, budget is not an option. Where are you going?
Oh gosh, I think the one and only, who as a brand just really epitomized the ultimate in luxury experience, and they have a new property opening in Greece. Greece is a hot destination. It's actually right behind me right now. And certainly it was the country that inspired me with my travel bug, but the one and only would be one of the properties that I would definitely say is top of the list.
And what is making this list different than lists in years past?
I think the diversity, like I said, I think what we're seeing is investment really coming back. As you know, we had a very strong 2019 right before we went into the pandemic, and we're now seeing that being exceeded. I think hotels are going to be really, the rates aren't softening. The pipeline for openings is growing, and I think we're going to see our list. I think we're at 34 right now for this list, and I think it's just going to continue to get bigger.